From the BBC World Service, in association with ABC and Akashvani, this is Stumped.
Hello and welcome to Stumped, your intercontinental hit of news, features and debate from the quirky world of cricket. I'm Alison Mitchell in London, where there's been quite a bit of focus again on the equity of cricket in this country because the England and Wales Cricket Board published a whole raft of measures in response to a report done earlier in the year about the state of the game, and they're trying to address equality of match fees for men's and women's. They brought those into line, but there's also a lot of things yet to be done, and one of the biggest challenges is getting cricket more readily accessible and played in state schools in this country. And then once players get into playing, say, age group cricket for counties, keeping them there because it's so expensive. So a lot more details still to come out and a lot of work to be done. But a blueprint, if you like, has been laid out. And I think the board will be kept accountable to that to make sure they carry out what they say they will.
Jim Maxwell back in the chair after you had Brett Sprigg for the last couple of weeks. I've been away up in the northwest of Australia and beyond, towards Indonesia, really, on a cruise, or more of an expedition, looking at some natural wonders, an extraordinary part, a remote part of Australia, out towards Ashmore Reef and the Montgomery Waterfall. Just an extraordinary place. 12 days at sea, and I came back from Darwin last night. So if I look a bit bleached or red in the face, it's not because of what you think. It's because it was very warm up there.
I just thought your face was reflecting your shirt, Jim.
Well, I'm glad you could get away for a while, Jim. Good to have you back. Though funny coming from me because I'm always disappearing. But this is Charu Sharma for Akashvani, and I'm in Bangalore at home once again, perhaps for the last time for a while, because we're disappearing to Japan for a month. We started out as a short club tennis trip and then grew into this major family journey. But plenty of cricket around, of course. What with the India-Australia series just got ended, and of course the Asian games as well, where the men still have to play, but plenty of interest.
Yeah, and of course, everything gearing up to the start of the World Cup in the men's, which is really not very far away now at all, isn't it? Great to have you back, Jim, of course. And we're going to talk, though, to start with about the Indian women's team, because you mentioned the Asian Games, Charu. They won their first ever cricketing gold, beating Sri Lanka by 19 runs in the final in China, where that was taking place. Jemimah Rodrigues has described it as one of the biggest achievements for the women's national team, because remember that they fell short with silver at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham last year, and they lost in the final of the 50 over World Cup in 2017 as well, so they've come close a couple of times. Charu, India haven't actually sent a women's team to the last 3 Asian Games when cricket's been played, and given their run to the final in those other events, which was against worldwide opposition, they must have been expected to a degree to do well in the Asian Games, were they not? But how much attention has this success had?
Well, unfortunately, let's begin from the beginning. Yes, it was great that the Indian cricket team, particularly the girls, actually made the Asian Games, because there was a certain level of, I'm not saying disrespect, but just lack of interest, because when a game is professional and you're playing around the world and you're earning a reasonable livelihood from it, then to represent the country at some games where you come back with a medal or not, is not really a big deal for a lot of the top professionals in the world for many sports, not just cricket. So I'm glad that the Indian cricket team finally gave importance to the Asian Games, because the importance of that medal for the country is large. A lot of the cricketers perhaps don't really care too much about medals because, like I said, they're all professionals playing in their own field. But maybe what Jemimah said, or Jemimah actually, is something now that a lot of players are recognizing, that it's great to be at these multi-sports extravaganzas, mixing with everybody and getting the flavor of it all, the magnitude of it all, because the Asian Games are probably second behind the Olympics in terms of size and magnitude. And yes, they were the favorites without question. The tournament started out very shakily because of all the rain happening in Hangzhou. And finally, of course, when they got to the later stages, luckily the rain didn't interrupt too much. And I think they made a little bit of heavy weather against Sri Lanka in the end, but they were favorites, no doubt. And I'm sure they're all delighted and have set a bit of a benchmark for the boys, because they are also, as you can understand, segregated a bit into the team that's playing for the World Cup and the team that's at the Asian Games in Hangzhou. Some of them, of course, may come back and make the team. So hopefully the men will... they're not quite as favorite as the women, because, I mean, there is Pakistan and a couple of other teams, Sri Lanka as well. So we'll see how the men do. But the women, yeah, there was a lot of interest at home, and people were delighted that the team wasn't just playing some bilateral series or whatever, but got a gold medal for the country. So it's pretty big news.
Yeah, I think those things sort of do resonate, don't they, when they come home, even if a player might not necessarily feel as if it's the most important thing to begin with. I remember that at the Commonwealth Games, certainly the idea of winning gold, silver or a bronze. Suddenly there's almost a bit of a prize for coming second, isn't there? Speaking of which, yeah, that silver went to Sri Lanka then, bronze to Bangladesh women after they beat Pakistan in their playoff match. Pakistan have never come back from the Asian Games without a medal. So congratulations to Bangladesh, a really notable performance for their team. But disappointment for Pakistan and their captain, Nida Dar in particular. Now, she is something of a trailblazer, and we're going to hear from her now on Stumped, because 2023 has been a significant year already for the 36-year-old. She became captain of Pakistan, made her 100th ODI appearance for her country, broke into the top 10 of the ICC all-rounder rankings, and she's now told Stump that she's got aspirations to climb even higher. Now, in recent years, Dar's been calling for more matches at international and domestic level to bridge the gap between Pakistan and the best in the world. And with reports that a Pakistan Super League for women could be launched early next year, Dar has told our Stumped reporter Sunil Gupta that the women's game is rapidly getting more recognition in Pakistan.
It's bigger now, growing very bigger now, because cricket is our passion. Everyone wants to see everyone to play and hit a lot of sixes or fours. It's that kind of game that everyone wants to play. So it's I think now it's very it's now bigger to play in Pakistan. It's actually changed the mindset of Pakistan. So everyone wants to see matches. I think it's a big learning for us as well, and having that kind of league. I think it will bring a lot of talent to Pakistan, and definitely everyone is looking up to this league as well. And with this, we have create emerging team as well, under 19 team as well. So we have a lot of teams now, and we have bring a lot of girls into cricket that actually very interested to play cricket. So I think we have changed the thing and changed that direction of everyone, that now look, Pakistani girls, they are showing their skills, and Pakistani girls are so potential, have the so potential and have that courage, and we are so strong to play anything.
When you started out way back in 2010, that's 13 long years, did you ever imagine that this would be your journey, ending up becoming the captain of the Pakistan women's cricket team?
It is a very great honor for me that I'm the leader of the team, and I was the leader of the team, but still I'm captain of the team. It's a big honor for me, and it's another responsibility for me. But looking up to my journey, it was too tough, and starting from my city, from Gujranwala, where there is no girl playing around, and always I'm looking my family, my boys, and everyone in streets, they are playing cricket. So it was very, very tough for me to come up with the streets cricket and playing for international matches and playing for Pakistan and leading as a captain. So it's a big achievement for me as well.
Your father was a cricketer as well, right? He played first-class cricket. I'm sure he had a role in your journey to reach this particular stage. He must have encouraged you.
Definitely. My father was a first-class cricketer, and my old brothers and father's brothers, my uncles, everyone is cricketer. And we had a cricket team club as well in Sialkot. And all playing members, 11 playing members of the club is my all uncles and cousins. So
all in the family.
All in the family. So it really inspired me. I have just listened after my mother's death from my cousin that we have the club, and we had 11 playing 11 is like all cousins and all uncles. So I was so amazed as well, because I didn't know before, but still it is inspiring for me, and especially my father actually backing me up and giving me that confidence to represent Pakistan. But still, when I was I was in childhood, me and my brother was playing along, and my cousins, everyone, they always told me, you look like a superstar of Pakistan. But I was like, because I didn't know about that at that time Pakistan cricket team has been there, and I can join them. But I have that faith, and I have that that thing in my mind. If Pakistan women cricket team is there, then I must be the member of the team, and I want to represent Pakistan as a cricketer. So I think it is inherited from my father and from my family as well. And Alhamdulillah, I'm representing Pakistan as a captain.
Well, absolutely. And now not just representing Pakistan as the captain, but you're the leading wicket taker in T20 internationals. Now, what does that mean to you in this long journey that you've had in international cricket?
Definitely, it is another honor for me and a great achievement as well. But it was not my milestone to achieve highest wicket taking. I think the bowler I used to and the bowler I am, I think I should have 200 plus wickets, but unfortunately, it's cricket. Someone can drop the catches or someone can miss the stumps, but still I'm hoping that I can achieve more than that. And this is not my ultimate goal, that I can be a only leading wicket taker from Pakistan, but I want to be a best all-rounder in the world. And I think it is my ultimate goal to be a number one, to finish at number one, number two. And now I'm as a leader of Pakistan, as a captain of Pakistan. So my goal, something's changed me because I want my team to be a number one or number two in the world.
You were the first Pakistan player to play in the Women's Big Bash in Australia. How big a change was that for you when you went there to play in Australia against some of the biggest names, those big grounds there? What sort of adaptation did you have to make? What were your feelings when you went there for the first time?
I think definitely it's a great achievement for me. And I'm very first lady to play Big Bash and having that kind of atmosphere in Australia. You know, Australia is a very cricketing nation. It sports you from everywhere, might be from supporters, might be from spectators, might be from any child. They are cricket loving nations. So actually it changed my thinking of how I can go ahead for my cricket and how I can approach my next game. So for me, it was a changing point for me. And I actually used to say myself, I want to be a best all-rounder of the world. But how I can be a number one all-rounder, or how I can be a number 10 all-rounders, it is a process. And process is how to approach your game. So I think the thing changed in me to have that intent to actually focus on my process. So it was a very special moment. Very lovely people, always boost you up, always gives you confidence, always look you like a hero. So I think it is actually impacted my game as well.
One moment that sticks in your mind from all the time when you played in the Big Bash there? What is the one memory that you will always hold dear?
Everyone knows me from my name, Lady Lala Boom Boom.
yes, absolutely. Very much like Shahid Afridi, right? And he was the person you looked up, right? So, Boom Boom Afridi.
When the team is announced on the whiteboard, every time I'm looking up to my name. Where is my name? So my name is always like Lady Lala Boom Boom.
Well, that's a big thing, to have a nickname like this in international cricket means that you are recognized as being a different person, an individual person.
So sweet memory of mine that I have been used by name, Lady Lala Boom Boom. Yeah.
Now, we are just days away from the Men's Cricket World Cup, where the best players will descend on India for the one-day showpiece event, where you can expect many magical moments. Now, we have spoken here on Stumped about how the teams are shaping up for the World Cup. England are the defending champions after that sensational win over New Zealand 4 years ago at Lord's, and the two teams will face off again, and very much again, because they've been playing in ODIs, haven't they? But they face off in the opening match of the tournament on Thursday in Ahmedabad. So what about Jim and Cherry? Some of the players we should be looking out for. I mean, there's always some obvious names, aren't there? The big performers at a World Cup, but also perhaps some names that might be lesser lights, that this could really be their stage on which to perform. Any particular names that you want to pull out, Charu?
Well, if I were to begin with India, you permit me to, then I do hope that Shubman Gill, with the kind of form he's carrying on, does well, because he's such a delight to watch, not just the volume of runs coming out of his bat. I don't know, the Indian team's still going through, I suppose, its final selection pangs. And I don't know whether the India-Australia series has helped or hindered. Maybe Ashwin can still be a part of the mix because he was getting some phenomenal turn and at least in one of the matches did really well. So there's Ashwin and Kuldeep Yadav, the two bowlers I'd like to watch out for because they can crush teams on their day. And it also depends on the kind of pitches that India will offer, but presumably they'll take a little bit of turn. Obviously, the England players are in terrific form without question. There's a couple of South Africans, Klaasen perhaps, who might, because they all have IPL experience, they by now know how to bat, particularly in Indian conditions.
I just keep, every time I look at the Australian team, and remember, we've got teams here who haven't been playing 50 over cricket much at all in the last few years. So watching that Australia-India game last night, I got the feeling that it's time this thing started. These net sessions are getting a bit boring. Well, let's get on with it, please. I just keep saying it. In this limited form of the game, the one bloke he'll keep an eye on all the time, every time he goes out to bat, is Mitchell Marsh.
Yes, I wanted to flag him.
Mitchell Marsh is becoming a colossus of white ball cricket. And he can, silly short boundaries and the rest of it, and there'll be flat pitches most of the time in India because the Indian batsmen like flat pitches. And that's the way the one-day cricket and T20 seems to go. So I'd be keeping an eye on him primarily. And I would not be surprised if David Warner, in his twilight time, playing white ball cricket in particular, makes a pile of runs.
Well, I'm going to look at the England squad and say that I hope that David Malan scores a stack of runs because there's always been question marks hanging over him somewhat unnecessarily at times because he scores heavy runs.
Well, a couple other big names, though, and let's not underestimate the magnitude of the occasion with Pakistan coming to India and playing, which is rare enough. So those matches are going to be fabulous. But Babar Azam and co have a huge point to prove. And I think Babar Azam particularly, because he's, again, like Gill and so many others, such a delight to watch, like Kohli and a couple of others, because he can be terrific at the top and ruin teams. So if those two and the rest of the Pakistan team go well, I believe there was a fabulous reception when they came to Hyderabad, India, a little later than they should have because of visa problems. But they're here and they have a point to prove. So hopefully they'll be stung enough to try and do well and just offer us some great cricket.
Yeah, I just wonder whether New Zealand have got what it takes to finally get over the line after the immense disappointment of 2019. They will hope that Kane Williamson can regain fitness and then lead, but then he'll be very short of match play, won't he, coming off such a serious injury as what he will be. We heard from Quinton de Kock last week. Can South Africa pull something together in the white ball format? You just feel, Jim, you kind of never know with a World Cup. It's a long 6 weeks. Injuries can strike. Players can almost dip in and out of form, but it does, on the converse side of that, it gives players a chance to gain form if they're coming into it, a little bit match shy sometimes.
Just two things around that. It's 10-team competition, so we play everyone, right? So that's quite exhaustive. It's not like it's split into 2 groups, and you don't have any more. Although they should be there, another 2 or 4 teams are supposed to give them an opportunity, but they tend to get more one-sided matches as a result. I think New Zealand and South Africa have got similar problems against the better sides. I don't think their bowling's up to it on those Indian pitches to do the business. Yeah, they need a pitch with a bit in it, particularly New Zealand. So I think they might struggle when it comes to the bigger matches. But they're thereabouts. They've got players who can whack it around the park. But it does look like Australia, India, England, and pick one of Pakistan, maybe South Africa. I'd be hard pressed to pick Sri Lanka to beat anyone at the moment. They look like they're going to collapse more than succeed most of the time, but hopefully they'll improve. But yes, and there'll always be someone in the periphery who does something extraordinary with the bat or with the ball, but they're not going to be in the makeup when it comes to the crunch.
That is it for this week's Stumped then. I'll say thanks to Jim Maxwell and to Charis Sharma and to all of you for listening, and we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.